Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of FTB Skies. How are you guys doing? Now, over between episodes, I did a little bit of changes around here on the house. Like, this is going to be my mechanism essentials room, let's say it, and probably thermal as well. So I'm going to have like these guys laying around. Probably going to upgrade them to their highest tier as well. I'm going to have like all the ones that I need every now and then to do some crafting. Hopefully going to have the thermal ones too. I made these two rooms. This one is so like kind of my bedroom, you know. It could be a little bit better, like this area here, but yeah, so all the tables that I use to make some specific blocks. So this is also pretty handy. And also I made a little bit of a kitchen. Now I just realized this is kind of darkish in here. I should get like some lighting over here. And the good thing about this kitchen is that this is actually connected to our ME system through the ME kitchen station. Now I linked this down below. I'll show you how in a second. And I really don't think these work. So I'm probably just gonna like make this section over here with the skillet and the ovens and all those things. But this actually works. So for example, if I click here on the cooking table, it shows all the available food recipes I have from the items I have in my storage or in my ME storage. So this is pretty good, pretty handy. I've eaten most of these things, and as you can see, if I just click it, boom, I click it one time to see the recipe, I click it again and I'll pull it out. For example, if I click on this hoglin sirloin, you see it needs to cook. So if I click it, it's gonna send it here to the oven and it's going to cook. Now it may take a little bit. This is actually upgraded to use energy, because it usually just uses like any coal or whatever. So I upgraded so it could actually use energy. We have the fridge here, which is completely empty. It's also cool if you shift right click, it stays open. It's pretty cool. And I can put food in here, and the food, well, actually stays in there, which is kind of cool. But right now I want to eat this thing because I want to raise my hearts maybe a little bit more. I think I'm capped though. And down over here you can see I removed every single one of these sifters because they are now in a compact machine, like I told you guys. So I made a compact machine and I moved it over here. If we kind of teleport over here, yep, there you go. They're all working fine and dandy. I increased their speed a little bit with a rotationary speed controller, or a rotation speed controller. I have like 8 wheels. Yeah, kind of 8, not much. Yeah, not much. This one is really not being used at the moment, just because these guys are handling everything. So I can have one extra sifter, which kind of doesn't need to be there, but that's all right. I also made some display stands because I got these Endermite statues, but they're big. Right now I can't really do anything with this because I need to find a specific mob in the game. But of course, today I'll be doing some farming over here, and already been setting up a couple of areas, but I realized that I really want to go with rich soil instead of farmland. So if you take a look at the rich soil, I want not this one. I could have made this one, but this one keeps nearby farmland damp. It's not really that great. What I really want is this one. Now this one is made from organic compost, and organic compost is made like this. Now luckily for me, I'm on the server with a couple of guys now at the moment, so I actually asked Bear to give me a couple of stacks of zombie flesh because he has a mob farm, and he was very kind to give me like 6 stacks. So thank you, Bear, really thank you. And those are gonna be really handy for us to make this organic compost. Now the only thing that I'm missing is this straw. Now this straw is made with this rice. That's why I have this rice right over here. So I think I can just hook this guy up there. Now of course they need work locations, right? And that's one of the things I need to go and set up, and I can already place this guy here. And I just need to know what's the range on this guy. Can I place him on top of this and show area? Okay, so he has this area. is this big enough? No, this will not be big enough. Yeah, so I'll probably have to change that, and instead of using that vacuum hopper, I'll probably go with the other option, this guy, the item collector. So I'll probably have to use this guy, unless I make a third pedestal that actually draws in the items. I could do that. Yeah, I could do that, but I'll save this guy. Yeah, I'll just make the item collector. I'll put them in these borders, looking into the farm, so then I have like this walkway from all the farms. So this is basically the setup. Now these guys have got their work carts. I just had to adjust them a little bit. Basically, the one that's harvesting for the rice, you can only cut the top part, because if you include the lower part, it will also break that, and you really don't want that. You just want him to break the top part of the plant. And this one, the growth one, you can technically set it up so it only bone meals the part at the top here, but I also set him up to bone meal the part at the bottom, just so whenever I placed rice, like this rice right now, this one will actually be helped on. So if you do this, he should start actually increasing the speed at what our crops grow. And we just need to bear in mind that even though I've only planted this rice, they're still going through these rows, even though there's nothing here, until they reach to these ones. We can clearly see that if I just use a little bit of time in the bottle here to speed some things up. You see that it's taking its time, because it's probably on its way back there, and whenever it actually reaches up here, yeah, as you can see, it starts to bone meal this area. So it goes like a little bit at a time. We can probably still increase the speed of what they do, which is probably something that we might have to do, because they're pretty slow at the moment, like pretty slow. So I'm probably going to be looking forward to increase the speed at what both of these work, and then all of the other ones. And also, let me actually show you this. I made this. This is a morphing tool, and this basically allows me to have multiple tools inside of this morphing tool, and it's pretty cheap to do. So right here I have the mechanism configurator, I have the pipe wrench, and the create wrench. So, and just by like looking at here, yeah, you can see it immediately turns into the mechanism wrench. So I can just use it, and then boom, oh look, it's back to being normal again. Now I do need to sort these guys out, as this, I just made myself a flax farm, and yeah, I was kind of hoping this wouldn't happen, but it did. As you can see, it broke the seed. So I don't understand exactly how these guys function, because here it's working fine. It's only breaking the top part of the plant, but here it's breaking the entire plant. So here what I might do is I'll have to replace the harvester version with another version that can just right click the item, and I'm not sure which one that would be. Probably something like an action pedestal, which I don't know if there is. Doesn't seem like there is, like something that would just right click. Like if we type just right click, we could probably get away with this though, the item user, and we can just right click with a hoe, and it should technically get what we want. So yeah, I think in this particular case we'll have to swap out that pedestal for this. This is not like expensive or anything, so it's always worth a try. Well, I wasn't quite able to actually find a solution, so I just added a workaround. So basically I added a planter over here, which will slowly plant back all the seeds that this guy is breaking. And I also had to set up this guy over here. This is a pedestal that actually has an item filter on it, so it will allow and only allow these seeds, the flax seeds, to go into him. And I actually had to use this pipe because the mechanism ones aren't actually like inputting into here, they're immediately putting into here, so that's not that great. But this little guy just fixes the problem, so it stays here and then goes from here all the way to here. And then I just link this guy with that guy, so it just sends the seeds over there. For example, if we break this guy over here, let's see, yep, as you can see, they just went there, and from there up there. And the planter will slowly start planting these again. Now this means that this process is going to be quite slow, like quite slow, because these guys need to fully grow, and then after they're broken they still need to be planted and then to start growing again. So I really need to make a better way of farming bone meal and then just feed these guys with bone meal, so these guys would actually work a lot faster. And I'm also farming flax because of string. You know, this is it's a cool way of getting string. You know, I haven't like properly set up a mob farm, but I did set up this, which is allowing me to farm compost faster. So I have mycelium, I have water, I have sunlight. Those are like the three most important things to have for this the compost turn into rich soil. And then I just go over here and just boom, I got myself some rich soil. This is really good for the next farms, and I'm trying to get in this, I'm trying to get like as much as I can, but it just takes a while. And so guys, here it is. This is now, well, kind of done, as you guys can see, and it is fully functioning in these three corners, this one, and whoops, and this one. Now this one and this one, as you can see, there's still like the pedestals over here and like the other chests and all those things over here. So I'm gonna get rid of those by taking them down here. Yes, I want to make this like a maintenance area, which is basically how I'm going to be handled the farm. I don't want to be seeing any pedestals and blocks and whatnot over there. So I made this setup down here. Now there was some issues on this farm in particular. I was trying to put a pedestal to harvest and another pedestal to plant again, and I was trying it with cabbages. It wasn't working for some reason. It was breaking them, but it wasn't replanting the cabbages. So I went ahead and I actually switched over to potatoes. The same thing happens. It doesn't actually plant potatoes for some reason. So I went ahead and changed it to a harvester from the cyclic. And well, I'm guessing that this side is now carrots, so I'm guessing the same thing would happen. And I'm gonna have wheat, and I still need to do cabbages over here. So yeah, I'm just gonna be using the item collector and the item harvester, because these guys seem to be like the best trade-off, because the harvester doesn't actually need to, I don't actually need to give him anything. I just need to basically copy the settings from one to the other and just let them do their own thing, because they only need power. So just gonna make a couple of flux points to power them, and this guy, everything he picks up will just, well, can immediately be sent over to the ender chest. And it's on 5 and 6 as well, so if we just pick that up, then it just lower it really quickly, because it's not yet configured. And then I can actually just run these pipes through here, no issue whatsoever, which is pretty good. Just like so. And it's gonna make like a lot cleaner at the top, like a lot cleaner. Every time I go up there, I'll only see the crops being planted and harvested, and I don't have to see anything else. And now guys, one last time, now with everything in place, I already showed you those guys. I switched this from dirt to rich soil, and if we go down here, I also switched this one to a harvester, because it's a little bit better, you know. It just breaks the crops and doesn't have to replant them. And of course, all the extra seeds that I'm getting, I'm just voiding here. And the only one that's still using the pedestals right here is this guy. Because these guys are really good, but they can be a bit tricky sometimes, because they may not be doing exactly what you want. But these guys, like, if they were planting properly, which they currently aren't quite as well, I would be using them. But these guys, like, it's a much cleaner setup. Like I didn't even need this area here, just in case I have that little area over there. And yeah, looks pretty good, looks pretty clean. I have access to anything that I need to check. I can just come down here. Cabbage seeds, regular seeds, I also have here. And of course, I already have everything being sorted back at the base, which that reminds me, I made this, the travel staff. That allows me to go back to the island, which I made this area right over here, and down to the base or basements, and boom. You can see we already have a bunch of potatoes, a bunch of wheat, a bunch of carrots, a bunch of cabbages, a bunch of flax, and a bunch of rice. I might switch up the flax for tomatoes though. Maybe down the line I will switch them out. Now coming back to this room right over here, you can see it's a lot cleaner now. It's everything is just in one corner. I'm going to probably be dividing this into areas, so mechanism will be on this side and thermal will be on this side. And not only thermal maybe, but maybe industrial foregoing. But I believe industrial foregoing could possibly need like its own building, because it has a lot of things going for it. And one of the things that I really want to get my hands off here, it's probably going to be this, the enchantment blocks, like the enchantment factory, the enchantment extractor, the enchantment applicator, the enchantment sorter. Like I want to get my hands on these things, but for me to get my hands on these things, I need, well, first of all, plastic. I also need some pink slime. I also need a dissolution chamber. That's like probably the easiest one. But this guy needs some dry rubber to get from tiny rubber, which needs a latex processing unit, which of course on its own needs to get its own hands on latex, which should be here. Yeah, latex. And for that we need a fluid extractor with power or not power, and ideally we would use acacia logs on it because it's the best one that we could be using here. So we may need to do an acacia farm because it actually destroys a log. Now in order to get acacia, it's really easy. Just if you have the market, you can just scroll down over here and boom, acacia saplings. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm gonna buy just say 32. Why not? It doesn't hurt nobody, right? Yeah, just get myself some acacia saplings, and we can actually increase. We can also farm this, yes, on a phytogenic insulator. So we can make a small compact farm with this, which will give us acacia logs, and then we just need to get rid of this acacia saplings, and we just need to reroute the acacia logs to a placer, something that would place a block placer in any direction. Yeah, like this one, and this guy would be placing into, or I mean, we can even use industrial foregoing for it. But yeah, this will be placing into some latex processing units, or no, something to harvest latex. You know the drill, right? You get what I'm going, right? Well, but since this will probably something that would consume some space, I guess we could actually just start to take a look at the quests, because we do have a bunch of quests. And apparently this quest is a little bit bugged on this patch, so I'm kind of waiting on that so it can get fixed. So we could try and go to the end, yeah, but flying there using Astra, you know. So if we go to this one, yep, we could maybe go and kill the Ender Dragon. Now I'm not sure if the Ender Dragon's fight is any different or not. I don't think it is. I believe it should be around the same. Yeah, it shouldn't really be that different for this pack, but just in case it is, first we go into Tetra. We have an armor, but I kind of want to see if we can get our hands on a proper tool. Now, first of all, we need to make this hammer. So how do I, wait, no, that's an advancement. Let's not make that. Let's not. Well, how do I make an advancement? Done by inserting them into the workbench. You don't need to craft tools, just swap part of the existing ones instead. Ooh, okay. Okay. There are a ton of parts. For example, to modify a stone hammer, which is a tier 2 hammer, made from iron on a tier 3 material instead, you need to have another tier 2 hammer in your inventory. Okay. Oh, there we go. We just make a spruce hammer, we right click, and now we have a workbench and a hollow sphere. Okay. Ooh, okay. That's how we're gonna be. That's how it's gonna be. Okay. Yep. I'm ready for this. Okay. Now, let's, well, get our hands on this. It's gonna give us a couple of things. I think it actually gave us, yeah, an efficiency 5 book, which is kind of good, but the next part of the quest line should be this one. Get our hands into a tier 3 hammer. Wood and stone hammers are tier 1 and tier 2, but can be crafted directly rather than more accurate. They are tier 0 and 1, yeah, basically. Iron hammer is tier 2, but technically it has tier 3. But if both heads are made of iron, they get synergy bonus and becomes a tier 3. Okay. A tier 2 hammer must be in your inventory. The task needs a hammer with both iron hammer heads, and the rest of the parts do not matter. Okay. Okay, so I believe this is how we do it. We're going to double-headed, and then I'm gonna select the heads. And I want hammer heads, and we have wood, stone, metal. We want metal, and I only have a tier 2 hammer. How do I make a tier 2 hammer first? So it should be stone, but I do have a tier 2 hammer, right? Is this not a tier 2? You have tier 1 available. Okay, so let me see if I can get my hands. I probably need another one of these. Yeah. So this is probably what I need. Nope, that's not it. And you can see that every single material has like a different crafting recipe, which is kind of nice. This is a tier 6 hammer to do. Okay, so basically the ones that I can do is basically around cobble and cobble. So if I can get like 2 cobble here, that's 1 improvement. Okay. And what is this? Enchantment. I can enchant it with something. I don't need to enchant it with anything. I just want to craft that. How do I craft? Can be crafted from cobblestone. Okay. So is it here now? Oh, there we go. Yeah, okay. Hammerhead. And craft. And now we select this one. Hammerhead. And craft. There we go. We have a tier 3 hammer now. Now I believe I should do another one. Yep. So hammerhead, craft, and hammerhead, and craft. Because if I want to upgrade this one, I'll have this one, right? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Oh, and we also got ourselves a geode. Now break open at a workbench. So if we put here, we broke it open and we got a pristine diamond. Hello. This is really cool because we gotta use this in a quarry bee to turn it into a geode bee. So that make them handy down the line. And if we take a look at the recipe now, he wants me to make a tier 3 hammer. But I made a tier 3 hammer, right? Because technically I have the double iron heads, so it is a tier 3. And I believe it actually says, or it said here, Cyber's having some issues there. Yeah, hammered 3. Craft a double iron hammer. The iron hammer provides tier 3 hammering capabilities. Okay, so this quest line is also a little bit bugged apparently. Oh my god. But we can make the tool rack. That should be easy. So tool rack, there we go. That's not the one I wanted. I made the wrong rack. I need this one from Tetra. Yep, and we can put it there. I'm just gonna actually move this a little bit to the side, and I'm gonna put both of the hammers right over here, so that we can later just keep improving them. Now, I do have, if I go into cardboard boxes, yep, I do have this one, this thing. There we go. Look at that. Filled with a bunch of schematics for Tetra. So hopefully we can go ahead and make something really crazy. Now, I really can't quite know what to do next. I guess I could technically do what tier 3, which is with Blackstone. Blackstone is a tier 3 hammer material, which means used twice it makes a tier 4. There are several ways to get Blackstone. The easiest, yeah, I have that. I have Blackstone. And then it wants to make a tier 4 chopping tool and a diamond short blade. Okay. I need at least a tier 3 plus short blade to act as a cutting tool. Oh, the easiest way to make one is by taking a vanilla diamond sword and swapping it out the blade with a diamond short blade. Oh, okay, that's kind of nice, really. So I can technically upgrade any vanilla tool. So the easiest way to make this is simply replace the axe head on a vanilla iron with another iron head. Okay, so that's easy. So if I was to, well, we gotta punch this guy again so it becomes normal. So if I was to just put an iron ingot here, okay, it wouldn't do anything. So we just type axe and we make this, we put it here, and I want to change this into an axe head, and boom, it's an iron axe. But it doesn't count for the quest because I'm technically locked there. But it is, oh, I probably also need to change this one, the iron butt, the tool butt, just so it fully becomes iron, right? I think so. Yeah, I think that should be the one. And of course we need to make a forge hammer, which is purchased from a tier 5 armor. Let's get the villagers out. Well, I believe that this guy should be giving me the forge hammer. Found in structures deep underground, and it is 2x1 multi-block. I don't believe I have combustion chamber, and I have lubricant dispenser. I do not have that thing, and this guy doesn't trade me, so I guess I'll just have to post this in the GitHub. So hopefully they can fix this in the next update, which they probably are on this already, so I probably shouldn't need to worry about this. And with all that said, guys, that's all the time I have for today. Yeah, we did quite a lot. It took me quite a long time to make that farm over there for just, yeah, it takes time. It takes time. It's okay. It's okay. I got a lot of plans, and maybe, just maybe, on the next episode we can work with this guy, which is right behind me, a little bit of bees. Yes, because I also need some bee stuff. But like I said, that's all the time I have for today. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and don't forget to like, subscribe if you haven't, and see you in the next one. Bye.